My name is Sabrina, and I'm going to be one of your MCs for this lovely and wonderful evening that we have ahead of us, and I am incredibly excited to be here with you all tonight.
And I am Zane Jersey. I will be your other MC for tonight, and I just wanted to thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us for the 11th annual Sabrina Memorial Foundation Benefit Dinner. That's 11th annual, pretty serious.
11th annual, and you and I have been here for some time, but we have quite a few folks in the crowd that haven't been with us, before. So show of hands, can I get a quick notice of whose first time is it here with us tonight? We love to see that. We love to see that. We'd also like to honor a few of the entities and organizations that we have today with us that have joined. We have the City Council, we have Mayor Doobie and Councilmember Barrios, and then we also have, there we go, round of applause, we love that. Then we also will be having with us tonight Texas Instruments, Parkland Hospital, as well as RASD teachers and administrators. Now, we hope you guys brought your checks, open checkbooks and a pen, and we look forward to everything tonight. And Zane will go through a few of the quick housekeeping announcements that we have.
Yes, so once again this year, as we've had in previous years, we do have a parallel children's program. This is for kids who are 9 years old and under. We have with us today Bubbles the Clown, a local legend in the clown community. Pretty big deal, y'all. So 9-year-old and under, we have Bubbles the Clown over there. Not only that, we actually do have activities planned. There's professional babysitting. And there's even food over there. They got Capri Suns and stuff. It's pretty good. It looks really good over there. If I was 9 years old or younger, I think I know where I'd be.
Yeah, I can't blame you. After hearing that, I kind of want to go there myself now. Kind of tied down here though at the moment. Before we begin, I'd like to go through a few things that we have available throughout the night. So throughout the night, right outside, we'll be having a silent auction. There will be embroidered pieces as well as fine china from a donor actually in China, one of our long-standing donors in China. They have donated to us the kindness of their heart. So we have a silent auction. Please check that out throughout the night, whenever you guys can at your convenience. At this time, we'd like to go ahead and begin the program with a Quran recitation from our very own Imam Majid from INT Masjid.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم you just heard the recitation of the first 17 verses of chapter Al-Balad in the Quran. In many places in the Quran, Allah challenges mankind by saying that He gave us the abilities to hear, see, reflect, think, and speak. And then He shows us two paths to choose from: the path to success or the path to failure, the path of guidance or the path of misguidance. But in this chapter, the approach is very different. Here, the subject is helping other people, but even before getting to this challenge of doing good, God dispels the most common excuse that we have in not doing so. God starts by saying that the default state of every human being's existence is struggle. We will all struggle in life, and everybody's struggles are going to be a little bit different. But we will struggle, and these hardships should not be an excuse to not do good or help others. When posing this challenge of doing good, God says that I gave you the faculties of seeing and the ability to speak. And when you, mankind, were shown the two paths, you did not choose the path to success. God describes this path as a difficult and uphill path. What is this path, you may ask? It is freeing a slave, feeding the hungry in a day of extreme hunger, or helping an orphan, and lastly, uplifting the poor and needy. This is Allah's definition of success, and this is exactly the mission of our organization. We all are going to have our struggles and our priorities in life, but all of us can do a little bit of good tonight. And that is what we are asking you to do tonight by supporting the efforts of Sabrina Memorial Foundation. Thank you, and thank you, Sheikh Majid, for a beautiful recitation.
Thank you, Sheikh Majid and Brother Yakin.
You know, it's really wonderful to see the incredible work that SMF has done throughout the years. You know, Zayn mentioned the 11th annual fundraising dinner, and SMF has been going on for longer than that. And I know the reason that Zayn and I, and me personally especially, one of the main reasons that I joined the organization was because of the work of our beloved Mr. Wasim Salam, the father of a very close friend of mine. And Wasim Uncle, he was a very dedicated, he was a passionate, and he was a hard-working leader, always aspiring to do more, and aspiring, ultimately, to create an organization in the name of his own sister, Sabrina.
We would like to go ahead and spend a few minutes just recognizing him and all the great work that he's done for this organization. So please, I would like to welcome on stage President of the Sabrina Memorial Foundation, Sayyid Feroz Ahmed, along with the Executive Director, Sajid Salam.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, the most gracious and merciful. Good evening, distinguished guests. Assalamu alaikum again. Peace be upon you all. On behalf of Sabrina Memorial Foundation, I have the pleasure to welcome you in our annual fundraising event. Sabrina started his journey back in 2013 under the dynamic and visionary leadership of our great brother Wasim Salam. Since then, it's engaged in elevating the condition of the least fortunate people, focusing on women and children through education, health services, social upliftment, etc. In fact, serving humanity is our ultimate goal and objective. From the day one, we are getting tremendous support, love from our donors, supporters, and well-wishers like you all. We are very, indeed, thankful and grateful to you, to all, to become a partner of our journey to change the lives of some people around the globe. Tonight, you will see the progress we have made over the years. While celebrating the anniversary, let's not forget the people around us dying from hunger, suffering from disease, and also innocent lives of women and children are taken away through forces. We, the Peace Valley people, want all merciless destruction of human lives stopped to make the world safer. We are from one race and we are all sons of Adam. Let there be peace everywhere on this planet. Amen.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, and good evening. I see a lot of faces over here. My name is Sajid Salam. I'm the Executive Director of Sabrina Memorial Foundation. Looking across the room, I see a lot of familiar faces, which takes me back in the days, early days of, I should say, in 2013 when SMF was launched by my dear brother, late dear brother, Wasim Salam. I'm even more overjoyed to see so many unfamiliar faces over here, which tells me that SMF legacy is being propelled into new horizons. Tonight, you will see just how much SMF has accomplished in the last few years. With your continued support and the dedication of our volunteers around the globe, I know we will go even further, inshallah. I would like to thank each and every one of you over here and around the globe whoever is supporting us day in, day out, as well as supporting the cause that we are after. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next speaker for the night will be the Mayor of Richardson, Mayor Bob Dooley. Mayor Dooley was elected to serve as the Mayor of the City Council in May 2023 and has served on the City Council since 2017. Prior to being elected, he served as the Chairman of the City of Richardson Charter Review Commission and was the Chairman of the City's Park and Recreation Commission for 4 years after serving as Vice Chairman for 2 years. Mayor Dooley has lived and worked in Richardson for more than 50 years. We are honored to have him here tonight. Mayor Dooley.
Thank you, Zane, and good evening, everybody. It's my honor to be in front of you tonight, and really looking forward to watching the night progress and move forward. Before I get into what I'd like to say, I'd like to introduce City Councilman Dan Barrios, who is here with us as well, representing the city. We are honored to join you, and we commend you for your dedication, support, for uplifting the underprivileged communities. We know building and supporting a community is no easy task. It requires strategy, engagement, and infrastructure to make it all work together. And you have that. From your advisory group, project coordinators, to the people working in Bangladesh, you can show those many stories, those stories, the impacts you are having on how you are making a huge difference in the world. Making a difference is one of the mottos of the Richardson municipal government. It's not just about doing a good job, it's also about being something bigger than yourself. So tonight, as we come together to support the Sabrina Memorial Foundation, let us take a moment to reflect on the profound impact of their work. The impacts being made to empower and transform people through improving access to education. And the critical work being done to improve access to safe drinking water through the Safe Water Solution Project. And last year's launch of the initiative to build an orphanage and senior home living. Provide safe and place filled with care and support. These are not easy tasks, and it is truly heartwarming to see people come together to reach out across the globe to do this work. And we thank you for inviting us to be here at this time to share this moment with you and to thank everyone here for your support. Together, we can and will build a better world for all. So on behalf of the entire City Council, the City of Richardson, Mr. Barrios and myself, thank you for letting us play a small part in this beautiful, wonderful banquet tonight that it will do so much for so many people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Judy, for the kind and inspiring words. It's just always so good to see our local leaders supporting us.
Oh, most definitely. And the Richardson City Council has been in support of SMF and Sabrina Memorial for as long as I can remember, attending these fundraising banquets. They have always been here, so we truly appreciate that from you all. Now, for our next speaker, I ask you all to please excuse me if I refer to my phone a little bit. Dr. Johnson does have a very extensive resume that I want to introduce you all with. Our next speaker for the night will be Dr. Laura Johnson. Dr. Johnson received her medical degree from UT Southwestern Med School. She completed her family practice residency at John Peter Smith, as well as a medical editing fellowship at Georgetown University. After she returned to Dallas, she worked at and directed Parkland's Homeless Medical Outreach Program. And since 2022, she has served as an investigator at Pillar Clinic Research, where she evaluates and treats individuals for a variety of mental health. In her free time, Dr. Johnson enjoys reading, writing, playing instruments, and hanging out with her 2 children and her husband. Without any further ado, Dr. Laura Johnson.
Thank you for the warm introduction, and I'm delighted to be here. Last year, when Dear Farkhanda approached me and asked me what I thought about having a speaker at tonight's dinner, I said, I think it's a great idea. I know the speaker last year very well. He's my husband, and I enjoyed his talk very much. And she said, no, I want you to be the speaker. And I said, oh, I thought you just were asking if that was a good idea. I think it's a good idea. Anyway, I say that to say, my sweet and immensely talented and eloquent husband spoke last year at this event. I tried to warn Farkhanda that David and I shine in different ways. While he travels the world giving expert-level lectures, I spend my days as a private listener, not a public speaker. Professionally, that's what I do. I listen to people, just tell their stories and try to help them along the way and help them get to a place of peace and well-being. Farkhanda assured me that people would want to hear my story. The story of how an observant teacher helped me access an education that transformed my life. Farkhanda herself is a dedicated kindergarten teacher at Richardson Terrace Public School. That means, as I'm sure many of you know, that she not only educates and inspires young minds, but she works diligently in many roles in her classroom. Part-time social worker, nurse, custodian, she puts her heart and soul and brilliant mind into her work. In honor of my friend, I am delivering to my brief account of how a teacher's determination and concern helped me put my life on the road out of poverty. The first time I spoke in front of a large crowd was when I graduated valedictorian for girls in high school. I didn't expect to be there then, and I'm surprised and honored to be standing in front of you tonight. Thank you for having me. I can tell you, I was every bit as nervous back in 1993 as I am right now. But I'm also thrilled that I'm here talking about my story because I know in my heart of hearts it could have been a very different environment. I could easily be at a 12-step meeting or in one of the homeless shelters that I've worked at before. Growing up a child of a drug-addicted mother and an alcoholic father presents some unique challenges. You learn to read the emotional temperature of a room and how to diffuse things rather than add fuel to the fires burning around you. You try and blend into the background, fly into the radar. You become a quiet spectator rather than an active participant. Passivity becomes a survival skill. When the adults around you can barely take care of themselves, you learn very early on that you have to take care of yourself. You make your breakfast, you pack your lunch, you wash your own clothes, you set your alarm clock. Many days you have to wake an adult to drive you to school. The one thing that you learn to rely on is that you can't rely on anything. The television you watched last night might be in the pawn shop today. The toilet may not flush because of the water bill and unpaid again. There's your aunt sleeping on the sofa, sometimes with a boyfriend, other times alone. There may or may not be milk in the fridge. Sometimes your mom doesn't come home at night, and you find yourself hoping that she's actually in jail, or at least she's safe and off the streets. You begin to notice the cycles of an addict. There's the short-lived cycle, substance abuse, the longing, the planning, and doing whatever is needed to be done to obtain money, to obtain whatever substance is in need, drugs or alcohol. This sometimes involves popping hubcaps off of cars, stoplights, or shoplifting tools from Home Depot. A lot of times, even as a small child, I was in tow for these kinds of activities. Then there's the relief, that always too brief escape from the pain, followed by the letdown and the return of misery. You are faced with the ugliness that's left behind when the high fades. There's a bigger cycle too. Sobriety, followed by employment, and the blossoming of hope. Sometimes moving into our own place, saving money, being picked up from school on time, and waking up in the morning to the sound of coffee percolating in the local news. But this too would always crash down, usually in a matter of months. The savings spent, the apartment gone, the job lost, moving back in with our grandparents, who were always loving, but obviously disappointed in our return. These cycles taught me what I did not want for my own life. I did not want to suffer the way I watched my mother suffer, when she couldn't get heroin, or even worse, when she tried to get methadone. And you know, the highs, which people think of as the good times, those didn't appeal to me either. Nodding off in front of the TV on the sofa, unable to acknowledge a child, in the corner, the one who's growing and changing, and wanting guidance and attention. I did not want to drink alcohol to the point of blacking out. I didn't want to crash my car, lose my license. I also began to think that I didn't want to have children. My sister and I, more often than not, seemed like barriers between the adults around us and the lives they wanted to have. I didn't want to live with my parents. I didn't want to live with my grandparents. I didn't want to steal to survive. I didn't want to have to ask others for money. I did not want to repeat the cycles I was drawn into for so many years. That's how I thought of the future, in negatives, mostly healthy negatives, but in negatives nonetheless. This all changed my senior year in high school at Woodrow Wilson, a public high school in East Dallas, in advanced placement English. We were told to write a 2-page autobiography. I enjoyed writing, and I decided to start my paper with dialogue instead of demographics. I was always so bored by the start of an essay that was, I was born on July 4th. So I wanted to start in a different way, and it started something like this. I turned in something that started something like this. I am done. I will never do heroin again, Mom said. Even though I had heard the words dozens of times before, I always took them as gospel. My teacher called me in after school, and she first asked me if I was okay. I assured her that I was. No abuse was taking place. We had enough to eat. I myself had never touched drugs or alcohol. Mrs. Ferry later asked me questions that I hadn't dared to ask myself. Where was I going to college? Why hadn't I applied? What did I want to study? Who did I want to become? She helped me to fill in the positives. She helped me to flesh out my future. I had noticed that my peers were talking about college acceptances, where they were heading off to in the fall, and I thought it's very exciting for them. And I was sad that I had missed the boat. But she assured me that even though college application deadlines had passed, there would be a place that would accept me. But at that time, I was feeling acutely responsible for caring for my parents in new ways. I had learned of my dad's diagnosis with AIDS in March of my senior year, and he and I lived alone together. I helped manage his medications, I prepared our food, I took on more of the household chores. He was getting weaker, and my mom had just switched drugs and had gone from relying on heroin to starting to use crack cocaine. She would often show up at Tom Thumb, where I worked as a cashier, and ask to borrow $20. How could I think about leaving, I wondered? How could you not think about leaving? This very challenged me. It wasn't just her words and her certainty of my success that made a difference. She took tangible steps to help me succeed. For one thing, she signed me up for several AP exams, paid the entrance fees, and told me when to show up. Then she did something even more remarkable. One spring afternoon, she invited me to her East Dallas home. I didn't know what to expect, and I felt pretty nervous. There, on her living room sofa, she and her husband offered to pay for my college education. I just had to agree to 3 conditions. 1, maintain a C or better average. Easy, I thought. 2, move at least an hour away from Dallas. Not as easy, I thought. She was convinced that I needed to be out of the range of my mom being able to hitchhike to wherever I was attending college to be able to focus on my education. The 3rd condition was that someday I'd do the same for somebody else. I want you to think about this for a moment. Can you imagine such a generous proposal and wanting nothing in return? When I was only able to define myself by what I did not want to become, she challenged me to imagine my future, and she supported me in a way that my own flesh and blood could not. She gave me wings. I quickly went from scheduling my dad's doctor's appointments to browsing course schedules. I made dad medication charts so that he could manage more easily without me. I got accepted to Trinity University and began corresponding with my future roommate. I packed up the things that I wanted to take with me. About 3 weeks after high school graduation, my dad died. When I drove to campus at Trinity, it was with the family of a friend who was going to UT San Antonio. I eventually graduated with a degree in biology from UT Arlington and attended Southwestern Medical School in Dallas and completed my family medicine training at John Peterson Hospital in Fort Worth. When I was young, I had had countless experiences accompanying my mom to Parkland Hospital, where she received care ranging from simple antibiotics to emergency brain surgery. I used to marvel at the doctors and nurses. Silently praying that they would not only cure my mother, but they would treat her kindly. It's a very hard thing to be an addict and never receive care. There's a lot of judgment that goes along with it. For over a decade, I worked for Parkland Hospital, serving the pediatric and adult homeless population. I was part of a team that visited shelters around Dallas County on a mobile medical unit. We took the bus to homeless shelters, juvenile detention centers, drug rehab facilities, and domestic violence shelters. For years, I had the honor of caring for people who would face the same types of struggles that my family had. I often wondered, what would my life look like? Where would I be if I hadn't gone to Woodrow, enrolled in AP English, and met Patricia Ferry, who believed in me, and who taught me to believe in myself? There's no question, education changes lives every day. Thank you for supporting the Sabrina Memorial Foundation and their commitment to transform and empower people in marginalized communities through their educational initiatives in Bangladesh. Good night.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Johnson. You're an inspiration, Paul. Thank you for sharing. Now I'd like to share my focus on a documentary that goes over the projects that we've been working on.
Assalamu alaikum. Very dear brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, this is Yusuf Ziya Kavakçı, Ankara, Türkiye. In my tenure at IANT, I had benefited a lot from Wasim Salam, the late, very good brother, organizer, attender of my classes, Arabic classes, and also broadcasting that whole world and getting the answers, and in those days getting the questions and sending back my answers. And he was, Brother Wasim, very much involved in serving Ummah. I have continued contacting, have relations with Sister Farhanda since then, and knowing Brother Wasim and Sister Farhanda's children, and following them, communicating with them. Since then, I very much appreciate what you are gathered for, helping Ummah, mainly back home in Bangladesh, to rise up in education, in getting the professional help, boys and girls over there to stand on their feet and to take care of themselves and the family and the community. May Allah bless you, reward you for everything. This is your brother again, Yusuf Ziya Kavakçı, now living in Ankara, Turkey. Selamun Aleyküm ve Rahmetullahi ve Berekatuhu.
People are as big as their dreams. The Sabrina Memorial Foundation embodies this dream, dedicated entirely to the progress and well-being of individuals. Its mission is to provide opportunities for a brighter future. The origins of our foundation lie in the southern region of Bangladesh. On the shores of Khulna, here the seeds of that dream were planted, allowing it to blossom into the reality we see today. The name Sabrina Memorial Foundation symbolizes hope for the upliftment of people living in rural communities in Bangladesh. Sabrina Memorial Foundation strives to make education accessible and affordable to all, focusing on low-income families in rural areas of the world. Our academy educates students, aiming to make them morally upright and equipped with knowledge and practical skills, such as guidance, service, and leadership, so that they can in turn help others. Our goal is to provide high-quality education and technical training to both girls and boys, aiming for a future where every child can succeed. Under SNF Academy, students from all walks of life can receive an education at little to no cost.
আমি শিক্ষার্থী থেকে সাবরিনা মেমোরিয়াল ফাউন্ডেশনের আর্থিক সহযোগিতায় সম্পূর্ণ লেখাপড়া করে আসছি। এই বিদ্যালয়ের পড়াশোনার পরিবেশটা খুবই ভালো। শিক্ষকদের পাঠদান মানসম্মত এবং উচ্চশিক্ষিত ও দক্ষ শিক্ষকদের দিয়ে শ্রেণীকক্ষে পাঠদান করা হয়।
এখানে অনেক সুযোগ সুবিধা পেয়ে থাকি আমরা, বিনামূল্যে পড়ার সুযোগ, উপবৃত্তি ব্যবস্থা ইত্যাদি সুযোগ সুবিধাগুলো আমরা উপভোগ করে থাকি।
আমাদের স্কুলে দুপুরে খাবারের ব্যবস্থা আছে। এখানে স্বাস্থ্যসম্মত খাবার দেওয়া হয়। সকল ছাত্রছাত্রী সহ সাবরিনা মেমোরিয়াল ফাউন্ডেশনের সাথে সংশ্লিষ্ট সকলে সেই খাবার খায়। আমাদের স্কুলে ছাত্রছাত্রীদের ইউনিফর্ম দেওয়া হয়। আমাদের স্কুলের প্রধান শিক্ষক সহ সকলে খুবই আন্তরিক ও যত্নশীল।
আমার আগে কম্পিউটার সম্পর্কে তেমন কোনো ধারণা ছিল না, কিন্তু এই স্কুলে আসার পরে আমার কম্পিউটার সম্পর্কে অনেক কিছু জেনেছি। এখন আমি কম্পিউটারে মাইক্রোসফট অফিস ওয়ার্ড, এক্সেল, পাওয়ার পয়েন্ট এর সাথে সাথে ফটো এডিটিং এর কাজ করতে পারি।
SNF not only ensures that underprivileged students receive a proper education, but prioritizes each student's physical growth and well-being by providing school uniforms and nutritious meals at no cost.
Sabrina Memorial Junior Girls High School is a unique education institution in this neck of the woods.
এদের শিক্ষা ব্যবস্থা খুবই ভালো, এরা বাচ্চাদেরকে খুব আন্তরিকভাবে পাঠদান করছে।
এলাকার সকল শিশু বাচ্চারা এখানে সুশিক্ষার খুবই সুন্দর পরিবেশ এখানে পাচ্ছে।
2023 সালের এসএসসি পরীক্ষা সহ বিগত বছরগুলোর এসএসসি পরীক্ষার ফলাফল খুব ভালো হয়। আমি উৎসাহিত হয়ে আমার মেয়েকে এই বিদ্যালয়ে ভর্তি করিয়েছি।
কোনো বাচ্চা যদি কোনোদিন অনুপস্থিত থাকে তাদের খোঁজ খবর নিচ্ছে, বাসায় যে অনেক সময় তারা বাসায় যাচ্ছে বা গার্ডিয়ান কল করছে।
লেখাপড়ার পাশাপাশি এখানে মাল্টিমিডিয়া ভিত্তিক পাঠদান, দুপুরে খাবার ব্যবস্থা, কম্পিউটার প্রশিক্ষণের ব্যবস্থা, এগুলো আমার কাছে খুব ভালো লাগে, যেগুলো জাতীয় এলাকায় অন্য কোনো বিদ্যালয়ে নেই।
সাবরিনা মেমোরিয়াল ফাউন্ডেশন বিগত কয়েক বছরের ভিতরে আল্লাহর রহমতে অনেক উন্নয়নের দিকে এগিয়ে গেছে।
SNF has been working with marginalized people for a long time, providing services in various sectors including education, medical services, disaster relief, and safe water solutions. Sabrina Memorial Academy offers computer labs equipped with state-of-the-art facilities such as science labs, digital learning systems, libraries, and auditoriums, fostering intellectual growth and preparing students to venture out in today's digitally driven society. SNF has not just focused on independent projects, but has since branched out to support multiple other ventures. For example, the recent construction of the Anushilon Modern School was financed by the Sabrina Memorial Foundation.
শুরুতে আমাদের কাজটা অনেকটাই মসৃণ ছিল, কিন্তু যত দিন যায় ততই কিন্তু আমরা বিভিন্ন সমস্যাগ্রস্ত হয়ে পড়ি। আমরা স্বপ্ন দেখেছিলাম যে আমাদের নিজস্ব জায়গা হবে, নিজস্ব ভবন হবে, সেখানে আমরা আমাদের মতো করে আমাদের প্রতিষ্ঠানটাকে সাজাবো, আমাদের শিশুদের শিক্ষা সহ তাদের মৌলিক অধিকার পূরণ হবে। সাবরিনা মেমোরিয়াল ফাউন্ডেশন আমাদের পাশে এসে দাঁড়ায়। তারা আমাদের দীর্ঘদিনের যে লালিত স্বপ্ন একটি ভবন হবে, সেই ভবনটা কিন্তু আমাদেরকে করে দেয়।
The reality of educational disparity is most clear at the SNF Night School, located in the capital of Bangladesh, Dhaka. Funded and operated by SNF, the school provides education for impoverished children living on the streets and working as child laborers during the day. Besides offering education, the evening school also offers dinner, Eid al-Fitr attire, and medical assistance for the students.
আমাদের টিচার যখন আমাদেরকে পড়ায় আমাদের অনেক ভালো লাগে, আমাদের সাথে পড়তে আমার অনেক আনন্দ লাগে।
স্কুলে দুইটা পরীক্ষা হয়, কানটুপি মুজাম দুই জামা দেওয়া হয়, কোরবানির মাংস দেওয়া হয়। বাবা আমাকে স্বাবলম্বী হওয়ার জন্য ন্যায় এবং প্রতিশ্রুতি দিয়েছে। আমি এই স্কুল কোনোদিন ভুলব না, কারণ আমি এই স্কুলে ক্লাস 5 পর্যন্ত পড়েছি।
সাবরিনা ম্যাম ফাউন্ডেশনকে ধন্যবাদ আমাদের পড়ালেখার ব্যবস্থা করার জন্য।
Kushtia is an arsenic-prone region of Bangladesh. Due to the excess of arsenic in the water of this region, the people here are affected by various physical problems, including skin diseases. The Lamon water filter has been developed in Bangladesh under the initiative of the Sabrina Memorial Foundation to address this issue. People in Kushtia and other regions of the country are gaining relief from harmful poisonings such as iron, arsenic, and other chemicals detrimental to human health through the use of Lala water filters, which have been distributed free of cost among the people in these areas.
আমরা আগে অনেক দূর থেকে পানি টেনে আসি খেতাম আয়রনের কারণে। এই ফিল্টার করার কারণে আর দূরে থেকে পানি আসা লাগে না। এই বাড়িতে আমরা অনেক সব কাজ করি, রান্না সব কাজ করি। অনেকটাই কাছে উপকার হয়েছে। বাড়িতে অনেক আর্সেনিক ছিল আমাদের টিউবওয়েলে। এই পানি আর ফিল্টার করার পরে কোনো আর্সেনিক থাকে না। আমরা আয়রনমুক্ত পানিতে এখন সম্পূর্ণ কাজ করতে পারি।
A more recent project is the SNF clinics, managed by the Little Cloud system, which is new to much of Bangladesh. These clinics have been established in the Khulna and Kushtia regions. Here, patients can receive treatment from specialist doctors for a small fee of 20 cents. Additionally, medicine and necessary services are also provided at no cost. These clinics will gradually spread throughout the country, providing free healthcare services to the underprivileged and remote areas.
আমি এখানে অনেকবার আসছি, এসে ডাক্তার দেখাইছি, আরো অনেক পরিচিত মানুষকে নিয়ে আসছি। এখানে সবাই খুব ভালো। মানে যারা মাধ্যমে শুনতে বললাম যে এখানে মেডিসিনের ডাক্তার আছে, ফ্রি ওষুধ
আসলে দেখি অনেকেই রুগী দেখে আমি দেখালাম, আমার দেখে দিল, ওষুধ পানি দিল।
একজন পেশেন্ট সেই চেম্বারে আসলে যেরকম সেবা পায়, এখানে মাত্র 20 টাকা মূল্যে সে একই সেবা আমরা প্রোভাইড করে থাকি।
এখান থেকে ডায়াগনোসিস, ওষুধ যত সম্ভব ওষুধ দেওয়া, পুরো কোর্স ওষুধটা এখান থেকে দেওয়া হয়। আপাতত আমাদের কাছে স্যাটিসফ্যাকশন ভালো, রোগীর মোটামুটি যারা আসছে সবাই আমাদেরকে বলছে যে তারা স্যাটিসফাইড।
আর এই প্রতিষ্ঠান থেকে তারা বিনামূল্যে ওষুধও পেয়ে থাকে এবং দেখা যায় যে হয়তো 1 মাসের প্রেশার বা ডায়াবেটিস এই ক্রনিক ডিজিজগুলোর ওষুধ তারা পেয়ে থাকে, সেটি শেষ হয়ে গেলে আবার তারা আমাদের কাছ থেকে ওষুধ নিতে আসে।
রিপিট রোগী আমাদের অনেক বেশি হয়, বারবারই রোগীরা আসেন, ঘুরে ঘুরে আসেন, যে তারা আবার দেখবেন ফলো আপে আসেন, নিয়মিত নতুন রোগীও আসেন।
Most recently, SNF has initiated a remarkable, one-of-a-kind project in the northern region of Bangladesh, the SNF Orphanage and Old Home. This home takes in all age ranges of people abandoned by their families, ensuring a free stay, food and living arrangements, in addition to a proper education for orphan children and adolescents. By putting the children and elderly together, these individuals form a family of their own and are offered a sense of security otherwise unavailable to them. SNF has facilitated the construction of a multi-story building to ensure that the residents of the SNF Orphanage and Old Home witness a new ray of hope.
যে ফাউন্ডেশনটা আছে, ইন্দিরা আমাদের সহযোগিতা করে
সবচেয়ে আমরা বড় সহযোগিতা এখানে দেখি পাই
তো ওষুধ পানি যা কিছু যাবতীয় খাওয়ার দাওয়ার সবচেয়ে আমাদের দেয়
মানে থাকতে পারি খাইতে পারি চলতে পারি
কাপড় চোপড় যা লাগে সম্পূর্ণ দেয় সাবান সুদা সম্পূর্ণ আমাকে দেয়
এই প্রতিষ্ঠানের বাচ্চাদের পড়াশোনা করায়
পাশে যে সাবরিনা মেমোরিয়াল থেকে আমরা 3 তলা একটা ঘর পেয়েছি
সাবরিনা মেমোরিয়াল ফাউন্ডেশন থেকে একটা নতুন বিল্ডিং দিয়েছে
সামনে ফাল শিখে আপনারা আমরা বিল্ডিং বানাবো
SMF not only focuses on providing education, but has established several self-sustaining endowment projects, such as biogas plants, cattle farms, and fish farming projects. The income generated from these projects has not only benefited the Academy, but also the greater community. Apart from the southern regions of Khulna, Sabrina Memorial Foundation has set up lemon and banana orchards. The people of SMF Orphanage and Old Home are benefiting from the income received from this project.
Sabrina Memorial ফাউন্ডেশনের তত্ত্বাবধানে তাদের অর্থায়নে আমাদের প্রতিষ্ঠানের জন্য এখানে একটা প্রজেক্ট করা আছে যা 3 বছর হচ্ছে এখান থেকে এখন আমরা ইয়ারলিতে 3.5 লক্ষ টাকা গ্রহণ করতে পারছি আমাদের প্রতিষ্ঠানের জন্য খুবই সহযোগিতা হচ্ছে এটা আমাদের অনেক কাজে লাগছে
The Sabrina Memorial Foundation continues to serve marginalized communities across multiple sectors. With your support, its dedication to humanitarian service will persist through generations to come.
As you all can see from this wonderful presentation, SMF is doing incredible work. Incredible work at almost every single realm imaginable. Every single need that these people have, Sabrina is there for them. And it is only continued, it is only successful through first and foremost the will of God, and then after that, the support and the generosity of our donors and our supporters, which includes every single one of you all here today.
Now at this time, we'd like to request Dr. Hashim Mohammed to join us to share some SNF's ongoing projects updates. Dr. Mohammed is a practicing nephrologist at the Dallas Nephrology Associates, the largest nephrology practice in the DFW area. He has been a committed volunteer for years, and we are honored to have him join us today.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening. My name is Hashim Mohammed, Mr. Mayor, Councilman, Dr. Square Johnson, and respected Shuru. Thank you so much for being here tonight. You've all already seen a very nicely made video which kind of covers most of the major projects that SMF has been involved with. And I just wanted to put a little bit of a spin on it in terms of how I see all this. And I promise you, I'm not trying to avoid eye contact. It's just that I have to look at the screen to get the slide forward. So, for me, again, the vast majority of the people here are from Bangladesh. This project is mostly working in Bangladesh. And you might ask why a guy from Pakistan is involved in it. If you look at the map, not only I'm from Pakistan, but the farthest away corner of Pakistan from Bangladesh. So why am I involved and why have I started this project for this time? For me, there's 2 elements of it. First of all, of course, the seeing the dear friend of mine from the masjid and he introduced me to it. But there are 2 aspects that kind of kept me involved. The first is the story of the foundation. I think it's pretty important that we keep going back to it because I do think that the story provides a drive for many of the volunteers of this organization. So nobody can escape their geography. Where God puts you on earth, with the land, the weather, you can't escape that. And unfortunately, the southern coastal areas of Bangladesh are at the constant mercy of the elements, and they keep getting hit by cyclones at a very regular interval. As you can see, these are just some of the cyclones that they was subjected to over the years, and there was a significant loss of life with each. But Cyclone Sidr in November 2007 was a particular beast of a storm. With winds of over 260 kilometers an hour, the most conservative estimates is 3,500 people killed. Some estimates put them at about 10,000. Widespread destruction of farmland, infrastructure, families disrupted, loss of life, loss of complete disruption of life in the area. So of course, many people in Bangladesh and from Bangladesh, and they stood up and said, we're going to help our folks out, and try to help the people in these areas the best they could. And one such person was this young lady by the name of Sabrina. She tried to do her bit by going to this to Jabusha, which is close to the coastal area of Bangladesh, and tried to do her best to help the community there through education and get them back on their feet. Unfortunately, she died at a young age. So then her family stepped in. As you can see, Wasim's long older. The rest of the family, they all got together, and Wasim brought his pretty significant project management skills to this project. And very quickly, starting with a small school in the local mosque, they started collecting funds and constructing the school. And as you can see, these are no ordinary foundations. These were designed to take winds up to 200 miles an hour. So this building was going to be the community's cyclone shelter the next time something like this came around. And before even the building was completed, they started enrolling the first class. In December 2014, the first class was enrolled. And with the grace of God and the donation and support of the community, very quickly, the flagship of the foundation, the SNF Academy Girls High School, was completed. So you already saw the video, but very briefly, this academy in the middle of a very backward area where they didn't have any schools, any proper buildings. They get world-class education, they get multimedia classrooms, computer education in a place where most people have not ever seen a computer, science labs, they get sports and cultural education, they have a very wholesome schooling experience. And a lot of these kids are from really poor schools, poor homes. So they get hot meals cooked on the school and they're fed there, but sometimes they take them home with them. And within a few years, the numbers grew, and currently between 270 and 300 children across the different grades are being educated. And not just educated, these kids are getting very high grades on a national level. They're competing at a national level. So the SNS model has been, so that once the project is started, the effort is made so it's as self-sustaining as possible. But of course, there are some needs, so we support our ongoing projects. And whenever possible, we try not to reinvent the wheel. So if somebody else has expertise and infrastructure available, we will coordinate with them and we will collaborate with them to give the services at the best, in the best way possible. And once you find a winning formula, something which works, then you replicate it in other places. Last year I shared a slide of the initial school in Alcoa, which was destroyed by the cyclone. SNF stepped in helping build a new school and also help with the curriculum, and the new building is well on its way to completion. Another picture I shared last year was of the night school for the homeless children in Dhaka. These are children who live on the street, work all day, and to support their families. And you can see these are very young children who work all day. And they are brought to the same place every night where they get education and food. And from last year to now, the whole place has been renovated, new paint, new desks have been refurbished, new lighting, fans, and these kids get very nutritious meals so that if you're looking at the menu, they get meat, vegetables, everything is so very wholesome meal. And for many kids, this may be the only meal they get that day. I'm not going to go into the detail of the water treatment project, but arsenic poisoning is a huge problem. And I really like this picture. These are families that were given the filters over many years. And as you can see in this picture here, within a few years, tens of thousands of people are getting water at their home, which equals in its quality the best water in Bangladesh. So starting from 10 volunteers in 2013, We now have about 250 volunteers in America, Bangladesh, and Kenya. And even locally, we've been doing things in here. For example, SMF has been giving breakfast in the DFW homeless shelter for years. And this is, again, for many of these volunteers, it is personal, the story. For the initial founders, it was supporting the work of Sabrina. Wasim Salam was the spearhead. He led this project, and after losing him, many of the people like myself and all the committee members here want to continue his legacy forward. That additional oomph that the project needs to take it to the next level and keep the people involved. So for me, that was one of the very important things in the story, that we need to keep reminding ourselves the origin of this foundation. And because it's a 100% volunteer organization, there's no paid positions. People work on their own time, travel on their own time, and more than 99 cents on the dollar goes to the projects. The overheads are less than 1%. The second thing which keeps me coming back is the results. I showed you some of them, I'm just going to highlight a few. So every time we ask you all for your support, there are results that you can see. Last year, I showed you the pictures of this old senior citizen home and orphanage that you saw in the video as well. A very unique project where old people who don't have families live in this same place as orphans, and they form one big family. They eat together, they cook together, but as you can see, they live in a shabby situation. Tin roof, you don't need a cycle to destroy this building, okay? And I shared this slide exactly 1 year and 1 week ago. The floor plan for a 3-story building that accommodate almost 200 people, we had about half the funds at that time. And within a year, the building is almost complete. And you can see not just the building, but around it, the orchards. This is going to sustain this project. They have mango trees, bananas. They're growing vegetables to feed these people, but also the surplus is used to maintain bring in funds to support the project. And now they're going to venture into raising goats and cattle as well, starting this year, so that will add to further the revenue of the project to support the project. And with the grace of God and the support of the community here, all these people within the next 2 or 3 months are going to move into their new home. Another project that we last year said we were trying to start was screening for cervical cancer. It is the second biggest reason in number-wise, the second most common cause of death for Bangladeshi women. And we had plans to start this, but once we started doing it, we realized that we need more than just, it's not been that easy, we need some infrastructure. It's kind of a sensitive kind of a screening for a conservative society. You need to build trust in the community. You need to provide that they should be able to trust you with their healthcare. So rather than just reinventing the whole wheel, we partnered with ICORME to start the SMF clinic, which currently is working 2 days a week between 50 and 60 patients each day, serving adults, children, and also providing them with medication. And they're using a modern electronic health record system. Like in such a backward area, clinic has an electronic health record system in which, of course, it allows us to give a better quality care, but it's also going to make that health database for the community on which future projects, public health initiatives, and even the cancer screening program can be built. Again, these are results. We promised them a year and a week ago, and you're seeing the results right away. Before finishing, I just want to go through again our 3 pillars, like we're supporting these programs, which we need, of course, we need some help, collaboration with other foundations and other groups, and then replicating the project. Now, some people are national speakers and not have a tremendous stage fright, which went down a few hours ago. I was trying to come up with some clever words on how to finish this speech. How if you took people who are completely hopeless and you give them education, you give them love, you give them support, they can go on to do great things and move it forward. And I think if I had tried for hours, I could not have done what Lara did in about 10 minutes. So please help us support this project. Open your wallets for us, open your hearts, open your apps, open the Zari, scan that QR code, do whatever you can today to help this foundation, and hopefully, inshallah, support this project in the upcoming years. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hashim. And I know Dr. Hashim mentioned, the things that kept him coming back for so long, and I can wholeheartedly agree that everything that he mentioned, seeing all of the successful projects that Sabrina has had throughout the years, is something that keeps me going and coming back year after year after year. Our next speaker, and I know I apologize that I've had to introduce him so many times, that every time he hates any intros, any descriptions of himself. But for those of you all who do not know Dr. Asif Noorani, he is the Dean of Amal Institute here in Richardson, as well as an honorary resident scholar at the IAT Mosque. And without any further ado, Dr. Asif.
So, good evening to everyone, and I just want to say that I was driving with my kids. I dropped them to the masjid and I came here. So my kids were asking, they know 10 and 12. They're asking about where are you going, another speech. I said yes, but this time I'm going to a special program by Zaki Bhai's father. They want to continue the legacy of his late father. And they asked me about the project. And they were so happy, And I asked them that if I die, will you continue my legacy? And they said, inshallah. And Allah Zaki, I'm so proud today on you, on your sister, on your mother, on your family, on all these speakers who are speaking before me. The emotions coming out. I'm so proud of you as being your teacher. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, that you have revived the legacy of your dad. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give all of us kids like this, that when we will leave this world, the kids and the latter generation can continue the parents' legacy. Say Ameen. Okay. I don't want to give reminders because already emotional reminders are being given. It has moved our heart, but I just want to share one ayah from the Quran, which is relevant to the context of donation and charity. And I was thinking when I was doing my Quran Tafsir studies, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used a particular style in explaining that. A famous ayah, which I'm pretty sure all of us have heard, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explained the concept of donation and charity, Allah says, مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ كَمَثَلِ حَبَّةٍ. When you give donation, when you give $1 for the sake of God to help people, the example of it is like a seed. Habba is seed. And I was thinking when I was studying Quran, why Allah would use this mathematical style? Because the ayah continues, your donation is like a seed. When the farmer puts the seed in the ground, then the seed after some time comes into 7 spikes. And each spike will come after some time with 100 additional grains. So one seed will result after some time to 700 seed. I was thinking, Allah could have said that $1 was going to give you $700, 1 dinar can give you 700 dinar. Why this mathematical formula? And on top of that, Allah compared our seed, our dollars, our money to the seed. Then I actually started looking at it and I found the answer. That our money, what we are giving today and tonight to this organization, it's like a seed. You know how seed works? A farmer will put the seed and then he don't know, he's not aware of what's happening to that seed. But behind the scene, that seed is growing. All he have to do, he have to hope and pray and water to the field, and hopefully one day the seed will grow. But behind the scenes, seed is growing. And at the end result, seed will going to give him 700 return. Now when you are helping a young boy or a young girl to educate in Bangladesh, maybe it's happening behind the scenes, you don't even know where your $1,000, $5,000 will go. But behind the scenes, they are getting education because of our help, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually have given us this opportunity. Islam doesn't believe in flashy work. Slow, gradual, steady work. And then after some time, when they were going to make an impact from the seed we actually started, then that's the time to return. But who are going to give over return? God Almighty, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the entire concept of charity in Islam. It's like a seed. You don't know what's happening with your charity because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is using your charity if it's given in a sincere way, in a positive and making a positive impact. So I really hope tonight, we have seen the pictures, and some pictures are really disturbing. You already see what's happening in Gaza. Please remember them in dua, brothers and sisters in Gaza, brothers and sisters in Bangladesh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ease the affairs of the people of the world. Ameen ya Rabb. So it's already enough reminders are being shared. I will end with this, that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the ability to donate as much as we can, inshallah, to help our brothers and sisters. Ameen ya Rabb. Jazakumullahu khair.
Thank you, Dr. Asif, for those wonderful words. And we would now like to shift focus into a different part of the night, into our motivational speech. For the motivational speech, we have a leader of our community, someone who has been in our community for years, and an imam of a local masjid. He holds a bachelor's degree with honors from the American Open University, and he has memorized the Holy Quran in both the Hafs and the Warsh modes. That's a pretty big deal, I will say. He has been actively involved in da'wah efforts for Muslims and non-Muslims in the DFW Metroplex, schools and masajids for several years. Without any further ado, Sheikh Hassan Khalid.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. My dear brothers and sisters, my name is Hassan Khalil. I am the Imam of Urban Islamic School, and I am here to show you the way to heaven. And the best way to do that is to make dua. This dua, supplication, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he made it to the companions, they told him, give us 4, because it is short. So he told them, I have given you something that will suffice you in this life and in the hereafter. Pay attention to the dua. Allahumma ighfir li. Oh Allah, forgive me. Warhamni. And have mercy on me. Warda anni. And be pleased with me. وتقبل مني. And accept from me. وأدخلني الجنة, and I admit me to heaven. ونجني من النار, and protect me from the hellfire. وأصلح لي شأني كله, and set straight all my affairs. If you are forgiven, and if you go to heaven, and all of your affairs are set straight, what else do you need? Brothers and sisters, I learned that when someone asks you a question, how can you be motivated to do something? People ask about salah, they ask about fasting, about several things. The best way to motivate yourself is to see the advantages of doing what you want to do and the disadvantages of what you're going to miss if you don't do. Today, brothers and sisters, we're dealing with providing water for needy people. We're dealing with feeding people. We're dealing with education. We're dealing with treatment and medicine and medication We're dealing with every good thing that you can do to a human being. The Prophet ﷺ told us that if you live safely in your home, and you are healthy in your body, and you have food for one day, you're a king. Picture when people don't have food for that one day, or have a drink, or sick and cannot be treated. Here is it. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, after doing the obligations, there isn't anything more rewarding than bringing happiness to another human being. Just make someone happy. It could be a smile. It could be food. It could be drink. It could be anything. Just make someone happy. Because as believers, we cannot function just dealing relationship with you, Lord, and ignoring the relationship with people. Allah doesn't like it, subhanahu wa ta'ala. He wants us to be good with one another. And that's why he said, Yadullah, the Prophet ﷺ said, Yadullah ma'al jama'ah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala supports people who work together. You shouldn't be working alone. We should be all one hand. When someone falls down, everyone picks him up. When your son is deviated, he is my son. I straighten him up. And the same thing to me. That's why the Prophet ﷺ said, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Inna hadhihi ummatukum ummatan wahidan. Your ummah is one. Your nation is one. You're all one. وَأَنَا رَبُّكُمْ فَاعْبُدُونَ. I'm your Lord. Worship me, serve me, take care of yourself, and take care of the purpose that you are created for, which is to worship. And that's why there is heaven and hell. So brothers and sisters, I'm sure some of you may not know, but the majority know. What is tonight? It's the 15th of the month of Sha'ban, where Allah looks at people and He forgives every believer as long as their heart are clean, as long as they are not in hardships or they are not basically alienating one another, as long as they are united. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was asked by his helper. He asked him, I see you fasting a lot during this month. Why do you fast a lot? He said, this month, our actions for the whole year ascend and be presented to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I like my deeds to be presented to Him when I'm fasting for His sake. When I am doing the thing that He likes, when I am leaving the things I like, food and drink, for His sake, because He likes it, because it's a sign that you are a believer. It's a sign that you feel with the other people. If I have not been where you have been, I don't know how you are doing or you have doing before. I have to feel the hunger and the thirst in order for me to understand how we can help these brothers and sisters who don't have the basics for life. So brothers and sisters, this is why we're here. You know why you're here. You know, you have a plan. And the Prophet ﷺ told us, if you want to go to heaven, go to the highest level in heaven. And you may aim for a certain things, but because of faith elevates, sometimes when you hear a reminder, you change your plan, you upgrade. You may come here with an intention to give $100 and you elevate it to $1,000. It is subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and this one should leave you amazed if you are a believer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, من ذا الذي يقرض الله قرضا حسنا فيضاعفه له من ذا الذي يقرض الله قرضا حسنا فيضاعفه له أضعافا كثيرة والله يقبض ويبسط وإليه ترجعون. This is an amazing ayah. Allah, the Most High, is asking you and me for a loan. Wow. My money is from Him. The universe belongs to Him. Everything is from Him, and He's asking us for a loan. And then He says, make sure it's a good loan. Make sure it's sincerely for me. Make sure you're not looking for interest. You're not looking for anything extra on it. Just for me. And I will multiply it for you many folds. And remember, I constrict your life if I want to, and I extend your life if I want to. And remember, you're sooner or later coming back to me. So guess what, brothers? We're going to heaven free. Whatever you give, you're getting it back. And you're not getting it back one, you're getting it back multiple times. How many believers do we have in this room who are willing to give for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's sake $25,000 tonight? And I know when believers hear something, especially when Allah says, "Oh, you who believe," they constantly and instantly take action, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never fail His promise, and Allah is there to give it. Can we have a brother or a sister who would give something that Allah loves the most to help people with the promise He had, He will multiply. 25,000. Can we have one brother or sister? Can we have one who has faith, conviction, and love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and other people? One brother or sister. Can we have one? We have a wonderful group, and we have people who can give. And remember, you can make it in payments. 1,000 a month, 2,000 a month. The faster it is, the more the return from Allah. Can we have one? One brother or sister. Shake the building and make everyone say Allahu Akbar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you the eye-opener for everyone, and the one who breaks the ice for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to compete. If you initiate it and someone else does it, you get the same reward. Can we have one brother or sister or husband and wife working together? 25,000 for our brothers and sisters, orphans and sisters and elders. Can we have one, inshallah? One brother, one sister. Bismillah. Allahumma a'ti munfiqan khalafa. Every day, 2 angels come and make this dua, "Oh Allah, give the one who spent a replacement." May Allah give you that. Can we have one? One? Brother, sister, family, husband, wife? Bismillah. طيب, can we have 2 brothers, 15,000. 15,000, 2 brothers or 2 sisters, inshallah, to light up that project, inshallah, and give for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can we have 1 brother? I know some brothers don't like to raise their hand. They like to do it under the table. That's nice. But also, if you raise your hand, we encourage other people to do it. Can we have 1 brother or sister? $15,000. Look at the education. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His name is Ar-Rahman, the most merciful, the gracious. When He revealed Surah Ar-Rahman, He said, Ar-Rahman 'allama al-Qur'an. خلق الإنسان علمه البيان. The most mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the scholars said that He started with علم القرآن before خلق الإنسان. Teaching the Quran, the ni'mah of the Quran is more important than the ni'mah of creation, being alive and being here. And it is the teaching. This is the teaching that we are doing to the children. We're saving them from being illiterate. We're saving them to become, inshallah, someone who builds communities. Can we have 1 brother, inshallah? 15. 15,000. 1 brother, 1 sister. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open your heart for more. 1 brother, 1 sister, or 1 family. Allahumma a'ti munfiqan khalafa. Bismillah. Can we have 1 brother, 1 sister? Either one, inshallah. Open your heart, give it, and be sure, be confident that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to return it. It may be now, it may be tomorrow, but He knows subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will return it. It could be something wonderful in your children, it could be protection in your health, it could be guidance for someone who's misguided, it could be a mercy for a person who passed away. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give it. Can we have 1 generous brother or sister? 15,000. But can we unite on 1? 10,000. 10,000, inshallah. We can make it or we can compensate it. Can we have 1, inshallah? Bismillah. Bismillah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you health and give you wealth and give you support. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, "Oh Allah, I forbade on everyone not to take care of the right of women and the right of children." MashaAllah. One brother, 10,000. 1 sister, 10,000. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam pays extra attention to elders, to children, and to women. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wants you to take care of that and you get the reward. Can we have 1 brother, inshallah? One brother, 10,000. 1 sister, 10,000. It's not hefty, it's possible. Highly possible. If you deal, Allahumma aftah alayk ya Rabb. Allahumma zid khayr al-jaza. Allahumma a'ti munfiqan khalafa. Brothers, I'm sure we can say Ameen. You get the same, inshallah. Jazakallahu khayran. Barakallahu feek. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replace it for you exactly how He makes the 1 seed grow in 700, inshallah, and nothing harder than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We got 1 brother for 10,000. Can we have a match? A match. وَفِي ذَلِكَ فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ الْمُتَنَافِسُونَ. In good thing, compete. We look at other people and everything in life and we try to match it. We look at the homes, we look at the cars, we look at the clothes, we look at everything, try to match it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to match your hereafter. Sooner or later you need it. Wallahi, I'm leaving, and you're leaving, and everyone is leaving. The only thing that stays with you is what you give for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can we have one? One more, sister or brother, $10,000. 10,000. Raise your hand and be proud of yourself and say, Alhamdulillah. He gave you the money and he is taking it as a loan. When you loan someone something, a trustworthy person, you have no doubt you get it. Imagine when Allah is the one who's taking your loan. How sure are you going to be to get it back and multiply? Can we have that one? Can we have that religious person, that confident person, that believer? 10,000. 10,000, one. 10,000, two. Two people, 5,000 each. Two people, 5,000 each. Allahumma aftah alayk ya Rab. Jazakallahu khayran. We got 5,000 brothers there, mashallah. Can we have another one, inshallah, for $5,000? $5,000. Allahumma barik lah. Allahumma atihi khayran mimma ukhila lah. MashaAllah, that's second. Can we have a third one, brother or sister? Sisters, donate. Donate. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in particular made it special for you to donate. Can we have a sister for 5,000, inshallah? Be the leader. One sister, 5,000, or one brother for 5,000. Can we have a third? A third, bismillah. 5,000. 5,000, 1 million. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. We have a $7,500, MashaAllah, from Asif Charity. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يغفر له وأن يرحمه وأن يهديه. أسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يبارك له في ماله وفي أهله آمين يا رب العالمين. $5,000. Can we have number 4? 5,000 sisters, brothers. Bismillah. One more, last one. MashaAllah, we got that 5,000. Number 5, MashaAllah. Can we have last one? Raise your hand. Look. Can we have that number, inshallah? 5,000, one brother, one sister, 5,000 less. Allahumma a'tik ya Rab, yaftah alayk, yabarik feek. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and reward you. We got that person, inshallah. Can we have 2,500, inshallah? 2,500, inshallah. Only 2,500. Number 1. Number 1, I believe I have one over here, mashallah. Number 1, we got $2,500 from Brother Ali Majid. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward him. Can we have number 2? 2,500, brothers and sisters. 2,500, number 2. INT, mashallah, 2,500. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him and reward him. Jazakumullahu khairan. Number 3, 2,500. 2,500, brothers, sisters. 2,500. From the 2,500 we rise up with Brother Raja for Congress, mashallah, donated $5,000. Takbir. MashaAllah, Jazakallahu khairan, may Allah bless you, Jazakallahu khairan, Brother Raja. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you and compensate you. And we have Brother Sayyid Mahdi for 2,500, MashaAllah. And the Islamic Association of Khan County for 2,500, MashaAllah. And we have $5,000 and Sayyid Mahdi for $2,500. Allahumma barik. And we have Anonymous for $2,000. MashaAllah, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Can we have the last 2,500 brothers? Last 2,500, inshallah, brothers and sisters, barakallahu people. So we can enjoy the food and go to Jannah, inshallah. Can we have the last 2,500? Bismillah, one more. One more, one Kareem. Fire. How many people can we get, inshallah, for $1,000? $1,000. Can we have number one? This is a good one. MashaAllah, we got Brother Azhar Muhammad for $1,500. Barakallahu feek. Brother Muhammad Boak for $1,000. MashaAllah, can we have number two? 1,000? Raise your hand, brothers. Let's get 10 people at least for 1,000. Can we have one? 1,000. Got something here, mashallah. We got Kamran Zaman for 1,200. And we got Sajid Zaman, Jazakallahu khair, for 800. And we got Yusuf Ali for 500, mashallah. And we got Brother Khan, mashallah, Dr. Khan for 1,000. And we got another brother, Sirajuddin, for 1,000, mashallah. And we got Shadir, mashallah, Kamran for 1,035, mashallah, barakallahu feekum. 1,000 brothers, can we have some hands for 1,000? Few of them, inshallah. Few of them for 1,000. Last call for 500. If we can get 5 people for 500, inshallah. 5 people for 500. Can we have 5 people? 500 or one brother, 2,500? Bismillah. Brothers and sisters, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you. I'm sure you have something in mind. I'm sure you're planning, so please, whatever you can need, inshallah, before you leave it, inshallah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will compensate you. Jazakumullahu khairan for participating. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and yubarik lakum fi amwalikum. May Allah reward you all, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala please you all. Jazakumullahu khairan for supporting Sabrina Memorial Foundation. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Can I ask Brother Siraj after to come to the stage, please? Brother Siraj. Brothers and sisters, Brother Siraj and myself worked hand in hand with Wasim Salam at Test Instruments. And to keep the legacy of Sabrina Memorial Foundation for the last 3 years, Muslim Employees Network and Bangladeshi Employees Network will be contributing to this cause. And we need this part at the end so that we call it icing on the cake. On behalf of Muslim Employees Network and Bangladesh Employees Network, we are contributing $50,000 to Sabrina Memorial Foundation. With that, I request Brother Siraj to have something else.
Actually, if you work for TI, could you please stand up? If we have anybody over here who works for TI, please stand up. Thank you so much. So, as Brother Robin mentioned, that we've worked with Wasim since almost 2000 when we started the Muslim Employees Network. One thing that Wasim taught us, and that's a reminder come to this world for a very short period of time. Some of us leave early, some of us are going to leave later, but we have a short period of time in which we can make a good impact and we can do something. We can make something and do something. So this is our opportunity, and with that, I would like to also invite everybody else to make a legacy. The same way that Nassim made a legacy that we are continuing, this is our opportunity as well to make a legacy that when we are gone, people will remember us by. And that reminds me of this one line of Arabic poetry, which tells us that remember the day when we were crying, and that everybody around us was rejoicing. Right, there was a time when we were all crying, and everybody around us was celebrating. That was the time when we were born. So do something with your life for the day when everybody around you will be crying, so that you may rejoice. And with that said, for the past 3 years, we've been coming over here. We have a small check over here, and it's a small check. We do? No. Okay. So, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And I know that it's very hard to take attention away when there's a big plate of food standing in front of you. But we would like to go ahead and continue. We're almost completed with the programming, but we would like to request Hafiz Zaki Salam, the son of our late brother Wasim Salam, to come up and share a few words of recognition in recognition for our beloved speakers that we have had tonight.
As you guys know, in here, inshallah, just a couple complimentary things. So, first of all, Jazakallah once again for staying throughout the night and supporting with all your ability. Second of all, thank you once again, may Allah bless all our speakers, from Imam Majid, to Sheikh Hassan Khalil, to Dr. Asif, Amir Al-Duli, and Dr. Lauren Johnson. We'll have some nice tokens of appreciation brought to you guys. I don't want to get you guys caught up now. A couple of announcements that we'd like to share with the community. There is the INT Corona Academy, or I2A's fundraiser coming up next Saturday at 7 p.m. at INT. Again, that's next Saturday, I2A fundraiser. 7 p.m. at INT. Then there is the Al-Ansar Society fundraiser on March 8th at 7 p.m. at this very venue at Crystal Banquet Hall. We'd like to once again thank the audience and, of course, the many, many volunteers you see running around, those with name tags and those without. Thanks. We hope that your work is accepted. He will be bringing out the speaker gifts. Lastly, we also want to commemorate Radali Diwan. Maybe by the moment of the community. He actually has come to our friends numerous times. We know my friends, we know his friends. Inshallah, the plan is that we are dedicating a well in his honor, inshallah, to continue on his legacy. With that being said, we'll have a Nasheed performance given by one of our own communities. Inshallah, Nasheed artist, Khadija Baby. Inshallah, Khadija, if you can come and give the Nasheed. And with that, Jazakallah khairan once again for every single one of you. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your evening. Yeah. Do you want the echo reader?
Yeah, you can use that mic instead. You can use the
Mustafa, 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 Sayyiduna
Thank you so much. And with that, the end of the program is with us. Quick reminder once more for the silent auction that we have outside of the hallway. If you guys haven't had a chance to go ahead and check out those art items, please go ahead and do so at your earliest convenience. From the SMF team, from the volunteers, from the organizers, and from everyone here, we would like to send and express our heartfelt gratitude for coming out tonight and supporting a beautiful organization with a beautiful goal. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from all of you guys, and God bless all of you. Thank you so much.
Gadget.
What do you